I will turn my attention to Manchester City, who we have to applaud here. Mike, I'll come to you on this one here. Great performance from Rodri. Got his goal. Third goal across all competitions this season. His first ever Champions League goal. And it's a nice moment for him because this was a swing of the left foot that ended up in the top bin. That actually Manchester City needed that goal to get things going.
Yeah, they did. They started the game on the front foot, putting a lot of pressure on the Bayern goal. Then Bayern started getting into the game a bit. Transition was always going to be the name of the game with the speed they have in that front line. And you knew it was going to take something special to break the deadlock. And boy, did Rodri deliver. World-class strike with his weaker foot, as you said. And just the details of the game, it was Musiala who's in a deeper position, who jumps out, misses the tackle that you typically see made by a Bayern player. Bad defending yet again, bites Bayern in the backside. Kimmich too slow to step up, and Rodri just with a swing of the boot laces it in the top corner. Nothing you can do about it. And we've seen Rodri score big goals for City. In the title run-in last year, him playing higher up the field yielded dividends for Pep Guardiola and his team. I think this guy doesn't get enough credit for his value to the team.
James, would you say he's the best midfielder in the world?
No.
He is, though, isn't he?
Tell me why, James. Tell me why. You brought this up. I'd like to hear this.
Yeah, no, I said this in the group chat and was immediately shot down and then thought, if this is what I'm getting in the group chat, I probably should delete my tweet saying he's the best midfielder in the world. So that was up for all of a minute. He's the best midfielder in the world because he can do everything. He can create chances. He can get in shooting positions. Mike, you made a really good point. Last season, he had 7 goals. This season, he's had about 45 shots, the most he's had in any Premier League season. So he contributes offensively, but obviously, you know, what you want him for is his ability to mop up play, his ability to win aerials. He makes, and I'm sure this is something that Nigel can admire in particular, he makes the smartest fouls of any footballer I've ever seen. Yeah, he is the best fouler of my lifetime.
Smart brain.
And he sets the tempo magnificently. He sets the play, and then look, if you give him space, he will punish you. So yeah, you know, I mean, if someone wants to say it's Kevin De Bruyne, if someone wants to say it's Modric, or maybe Kimmich, he was the only good player in a Bayern shirt tonight. I'm open to that, but I mean, it's hard to say from personal because, like, God, no one who is a City fan likes Rodri, but by God, do I respect him.
I think, James, he's a good player. I'll give you that. But I can't give him the best midfielder in the world. I'm sorry. I think for me to be the best midfielder in the world, you have to give a lot more. And, like, I would say you could probably even say Jude Bellingham is one of the best midfielders in world football for me because of what he does. Because the thing is this, Jude can do what Rodri does, which is cleaning up defensively, being hard to beat. But Jude's got another dynamic side of him where he can get forward and score goals and make goals as well. And he's a lot more impactful in the game. I feel at times with Rodri he's a lot more safety. He's more of a safety net of, yes, cleaning up, but keeping it very simple. There's midfielders who can do that, but also influence the tempo and the flow of the game by being a lot more direct with their passes forward and making things happen. I think we still got to take our hats off to Modric because what he's doing at his age, both defensively and attacking-wise and scoring goals, you have to say he's still up there. And one player goes under the radar, people might not like him as well. I think Camavinga deserves a shout because of what he can do in midfield and also his versatility when he can drop back at left back. But I think that there's other midfielders for me ahead of him. And if you're going to say he's the best midfielder in the world, Man City is sitting second, believe Arsenal. Thomas Partey has been one of the big rocks of Arsenal's season, and they're sitting top of the Premier League. And what Thomas Partey can do as well, and we've seen him put a few belters in the top corner. Yeah. But Thomas Partey can dominate a game in midfield more so than Rodri can. So you have to put Thomas Partey in there. But it's a great conversation. But I would still go with Luka Modric for me, for what he's doing at his age right now, is still the best in the world.
I thought you were going to say Declan Rice for a minute there. And I was like,
I thought so. I thought so too.
This guy.
Before we do go to a break, we've got to mention Erling Haaland. Just run through some of the stats here. 22 years old, 34 Champions League goals now from only 26 games. For Dortmund, 86 goals in 89 appearances. Salzburg, 29 goals in 27 appearances. For Norway, 21 goals in 23 appearances. And for Manchester City, 45 goals in 39 appearances, including 11 in the Champions League. James, you said cheat code when you tweeted that out. You pretty much is, right?
Yeah, most goals ever by but most goals by a Premier League player across all competitions in a season. It's April the 11th, and this is a season. Not only is it April the 11th, in football terms, it's basically March the 11th because we've just missed the month, haven't we, for for World Cup. Yeah, no. When I say cheat code, I mean that like this man should forcibly be made to retire sooner or later. Or what they did to Messi, let's invert that. A few human degenerative hormones just to stop Haaland getting too good.
You know what, James? Though
ruining it.
You know what though? You're 100% right. It's a cheat code, but you know as well. You're in the press. You can see the little murmurings coming. He wants to go to Real Madrid. It's
One day, I'm sure he will.
And they haven't. But I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves in the next season or two to go. He's dominated
the next season or so. Come on.
No, I'm telling you, he's not going to stay. He's not staying at City for long.
One and done. Win a treble and he's out.
I won't be
good riddance. I'll pack his bags for him.
Yeah, I'll join you.
Just real quickly on the dynamic of Manchester City, Mike, I'll come to you on this one. Nigel, please feel free to jump in on this one. Tactically, the way Manchester City have set up, if you look at the statistics from last season, Kevin De Bruyne's goals are way down, but his assists are way up. Whereas last year it was his goals. You think he was in 20-plus goals last season, and his assists were not as high. And now you've got that killer. Now you've got that focal point. Now you've got that striker. The assists from around the team have been really phenomenal. So City have had to change their game somewhat just to fit Erling Haaland in, and clearly they're being rewarded for that, Mike.
It's been a big adjustment for Kevin De Bruyne in particular. You're seeing Jack Grealish step up with goals and assists, but that's taken time. Bernardo Silva has played right back. He's played winger. He's played centrally. This has been an absolute revolution in terms of tactics from Pep Guardiola, but it's worth the price of admission when you have a world-class striker like Erling Haaland. Last season, City, that's the only thing they were missing. De Bruyne had to step up in the goals department because they didn't have a striker. Aguero on his way out. Gabriel Jesus, they thought he was their guy, but he only came in towards the end of the season. Now they have their main man, and if they keep up like this, there's no stopping them.
Yeah, I'm not going to really say too much. Mike's got it 100% right, because obviously I'll be repeating what Mike said, but I think the main difference for me is this, that Kevin De Bruyne has that vision and that quality to find the assassin Haaland. That's the difference. So obviously now Jack Grealish can score more goals because there's no reliance on Kevin De Bruyne to score goals, but more so to provide goals for the assassin of Erling Haaland, which he has the ability to.
Great comments jumping in from everybody out there. Nice one from Dart Thrower. He said, Ian, nice 2-bet sweep. I'm here for you, you legend. I appreciate you as well. Jump into everybody else there, including Liam, who's saying the result would have been very different under Julian Nagelsmann. Kiwichi jumping in the same thing. Sacking Julian was a mistake. Big comment right there. Vic saying within 8 minutes into the second half, Sane hit 3 shots on target. Would have been 1 or 2 goals against Kepa. And then Tats, honestly, 27 goals in 30 games, 11 goals in 13 games in the Champions League. He's officially the best player in the world right now. Certainly the most dangerous for Ballon d'Or. Thanks to everybody for jumping into the comments. We'll get to most of them as we possibly can.